Hello everyone and welcome to County Perspective. This show focuses on Frederick County government, local programs and events, and the Frederick County community. I'm your host Brandon Rosa and thank you for joining me. Now let's begin the show with our top news stories. Frederick County Executive Jessica Fitzwater unveiled the Rides for Good initiative addressing critical transportation challenges for vulnerable communities. In collaboration with the Safe Ride Foundation and United Way of Frederick County, the program connects older adults, people with disabilities, and low-income individuals with volunteer-driven essential services. With $250,000 in funding from the county's American Rescue Plan Act allocation, Rides for Good aims to provide affordable, accessible transportation, fostering community support. Volunteers are needed to provide rides through the service, which is scheduled to launch February 1st. Learn more at ridesforgood.org. Governor Wes Moore visited Frederick County last month. He got a first-hand look at the Veteran Service Center at Platoon 22 and helped to cut the ribbon at the Asian American Center of Frederick County's new facility. The nonprofit organization opened an initiative child care program, aligning with Governor Moore's vision for a statewide volunteer corps. Commending founder Elizabeth Chung's community service, Moore emphasized high school graduates' participation in a volunteer gap year, earning scholarships. Frederick County Executive Jessica Fitzwater joined, underscoring support for the Asian American Center of Frederick County initiative. The event reflects a commitment to community engagement and civic service, a pivotal step in realizing Governor Moore's vision for a dynamic volunteer program. After the ribbon cutting, the governor visited the future site of the downtown Frederick Hotel and Conference Center. U.S. Secretary of Education Dr. Miguel Cardona honored Oakdale High School as a National Blue Ribbon School for 2023. Among the 6 Maryland schools and 353 nationwide receiving this accolade, Oakdale High marks the 14th Frederick County public school to achieve National Blue Ribbon status. Principal Bill Caulfield's leadership and the community's dedication to each student played a pivotal role.
We were nominated for what they call exemplary high achievement. So that has to do with a lot of metrics that we use, data that we use in terms of testing data, graduation rate, and achievement data. You can also be nominated for a school that closes achievement gaps. So those are the 2 ways that the National Blue Ribbon School program acknowledges schools that are kind of in that elite status. When you're named something like this, a National Blue Ribbon School, it really charges us to be even better. And so that's part of my message today is, now, we've achieved this great thing, but now what do we do to take that next step?
The school's commitment to academic excellence is highlighted by rigorous criteria for high achievement and closing gaps in disadvantaged and minority students' performance. For more information, visit ed.gov/National Blue Ribbon Schools. When you visit a golf course to play a round of golf or drive by a beautiful golf course, do you ever wonder how the greens at a golf course are always in perfect condition? In the newest episode of Destination Frederick County, we are visiting Whiskey Creek Golf Course to learn about the day in the life of a golf course superintendent and how they make the golf course look so perfect. Let's check it out.
My duties on a daily basis are to prepare the golf course to be ready for play for the public. As we move on through the seasons, that changes. It's always a moving target. In the summertime, it'll be making sure we have enough moisture in the greens so that they can stand up throughout the course of a day. As we move into fall and into winter, it'll be getting leaves off of the greens, and we mow the greens, we roll the greens, we mow the fairways. Every day you're injuring the grass when you're playing on it, right? Whether it be from cutting or from people walking over it. So Our duties and our jobs would be making sure that we have a product that we can give to the public that is ready to be played. So working on a golf course, it provides you with instant gratification a lot of times. You know, you can actually go out and do something and see the changes that you've made immediately. And then there's also, you know, the long-term payoff. When you look at an area or a hole or whatever it may be, you know, we need to thin some trees over on this side of the course so that more air and sunlight can get to a green. You do that one winter, and then the following spring you see that green functioning so much better because you've done something to create that, and that's more of the long-term payoff that you get. So there are 9 golf courses in Frederick County, and they're all very good quality golf courses, offering a lot of different experiences for golfers. Come out and play golf in Frederick County. We've got great golf courses, all different skill levels and all different price points.
It is time for a short break, but don't change the channel, because when we come back, we'll watch the newest episode of Voices of Frederick County and see who our featured Pet of the Week is. We'll be right back. Welcome back to County Perspective. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa. Coming up soon in the show, we'll find out more about Ann Miller, Chief of Operations with the Maryland School for the Deaf. But before we do that, let's take a trip to Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center to visit our adorable Pet of the Week.
It's hard not to fall in love with Wiggly Maria. This sweet terrier mix has undergone quite the transformation since her arrival at FCAC. At first very timid and unsure, afraid even to walk through doorways, she's now excitedly greeting staff with tail wags and a big smile. Maria loves to play and cuddle, but still takes a little time to warm up. She's recommended for families without young children. To learn more about Maria and our adoption process, call Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center at 301-600-1546.
The Maryland School for the Deaf has 2 locations, one in downtown Frederick and the other in Columbia, Maryland. Both locations share the same Chief of Operations, and that certain individual is Ann Miller. Watch the newest episode of Voices of Frederick County to learn about the history of the Maryland School for the Deaf and Ann's journey as Chief of Operations.
Access to education is a key component to success, especially to those who face additional challenges in life. The Maryland School for the Deaf has been educating children in Frederick County since 1868. We spoke with Ann Miller, Chief of Operations and Financial Officer, about the school's fascinating history and educational goals. This is her story.
Well, my name is Ann Miller, and I am the Chief Financial Officer and the Chief of Operations here at the Maryland School for the Deaf. I started working here the first time in 1999 in the accounting department, and I worked here for about 7 years. Fell in love with Frederick, fell in love with the kids here and the staff here at the Maryland School for the Deaf, but for financial reasons, I moved to another job for a promotion, and then in 2016 came back here for another promotion as the Chief Financial Officer. And this is my job since then. I started working here for a couple reasons. One, it was a great opportunity for me, but growing up, there were some deaf students and deaf kids in my church. And I got to know them, and they actually went to school here, and they were about my age, so I knew ASL early. And then in my early 20s, I already had a degree in accounting, but I had gone and taken some classes in the interpreter training program at the Community College of Baltimore County, and so I learned more ASL. And so when the job opened up here in 1999, it was just a good fit for me. It was kind of a merging of all of my life skills together. And so I came here, and it's been a good fit ever since. Even though I don't live in Frederick County, I do work in Frederick County, and we spend a lot of time, my husband and I, in Frederick County. We especially love to walk the Carroll Creek area. Shopping in downtown Frederick is one of our favorite pastimes. The boats will be coming out soon, and that will be a great opportunity for us to take my children and grandchildren to see the boats lit up on Carroll Creek. So the Maryland School for the Deaf is on a historic property, and the Maryland School for the Deaf was founded in 1868. But prior to that, in this property is the Hessian Barracks, or the Fredericktown Barracks, which were built during the Revolutionary War to house prisoners of war, German prisoners of war. And it was used for many things throughout all the years that it has been in existence. So the Hessian Barracks still stands today, and we're sitting in them. They were used during the Civil War as a hospital. At one time, they were a silk cocoonery. And then in 1868, in the fall, we had 34 deaf students come to the barracks and use that as their school, and they actually lived here with their teachers during that time. And we have set this up as a classroom, as the students who were originally here might have seen that in the early days that they came here. And it's a good chance for our students, current students, to come in and see what it would have been like had they come to school here in the 1860s. And then a few years later, the property had a building built just for the school, which was the old main building. And students came and lived there and stayed there most of the year while they were educated, and their teachers lived on campus at the same time. And it was a great opportunity because these students got to learn in their native language, which was ASL. So they learned in a visual language, and it's been a great school ever since. We have everything that a regular public school has. We have after-school activities, we have drama, we have sports, we have clubs, we have plays. One of the best new programs that we have, or relatively new programs, is a robotics program that we have. And it's a fun program. We actually compete nationally in robotics tournaments. And we do serve the kids. We serve kids that have additional needs. So we have speech therapists, we have occupational therapists, audiologists, physical therapists, and of course our teachers and teacher aides that do wonderful work with our students. We actually have a work-study program too, to help our students transition to life after here. Frederick County has been a great partner for the Maryland School for the Deaf and been very welcoming to deaf families. A lot of families move to Maryland to have their kids go to the Maryland School for the Deaf. And part of that is because Frederick County has been so welcoming, and people can go into the community, and maybe the people who work in the store don't sign fluently, but they do sign good morning. They might sign good afternoon, nice to meet you, something like that. And it just makes people feel welcome. We partner with Frederick City all the time, and so it's been a good representative of the history of the county, because the Maryland School for the Deaf has been a very good steward of this property and kept the history alive from the early parts of the Revolutionary War and onward. And I think that has helped with the connection to Frederick County.
Even though it is cold outside, there are still a variety of things going on in the county to keep you and your family busy. Let's find out what activities county divisions and departments are hosting in the next few weeks in this episode's calendar of events. find out more about virtual events, activities, and programs coming up in the county, just visit frederickcountymd.gov. We're getting close to the end of the show, but before we wrap up this episode, I want to share a few more things with you. Winter is nearly upon us, and that means we could be seeing inclement weather like snowstorms and ice rain impacting our area. Now is a good time to learn about some snow tips that can keep you and your family safe during the winter season.
Park vehicles in driveways instead of roadways or cul-de-sacs. If neighborhoods do not have off-street parking areas, neighbors can help by parking all vehicles on the same side of the street. This will give the plow more room to work. Have a fully charged cell phone, blankets, and cat litter in your vehicle in case you are stranded. If you shovel your driveway before the snowplow comes through, always shovel snow to the right facing the street. Also, do not throw snow back into the roadway. Always remember to listen to the radio before and during the storm to see if the snow emergency plan has been declared in Frederick County. If at all possible, stay off the roads during a severe winter storm. Drivers should stay at least 2 car lengths behind a snowplow for every 20 miles per hour they are traveling, and they should never cut between a caravan of plows clearing the highway. Remember that ramps and bridges freeze first. You should also be aware of black ice, which is ice that has the appearance of a wet spot on the road. For more snow tips, please visit frederickcountymd.gov/snow.
Frederick County has been celebrating its 275th anniversary since the key drop ceremony held on New Year's Eve and the 275th Jubilee that took place in June. Museums by Candlelight is the final event concluding the 275th anniversary held in early December, allowing residents to explore Frederick County's history at Rose Hill Manor and enjoy performances around the county, like a Myersville Elementary choir performance. The 275th anniversary celebration was a great time to remember Frederick County's history and milestones that made Frederick County a great place to live for more than 200,000 residents. A great thanks goes out to the hundreds of volunteers who helped make the 275th anniversary happen. Well, everyone, that is all we have in this episode of County Perspective. And if you want to stay up to date on important news and events going on in the county, follow Frederick County on social media. We'll see you next time with a fresh look from a county perspective. Take care, everybody.